evening for another Blue Moon race here, round of 32 here. Final run of the night here. I'm Nightdew. With me here is Bon. How are we feeling tonight?
Feeling pretty good and looking forward to watching these two racers who both played a great race last week in the round of 64 with JBrunTR getting past IB Karma and Hart getting past Softnum. Tonight they face off for a berth to the round of 16 next week.
We're getting around 16 already. I mean, it just man, they just did this. The waxing brackets are gonna, just kind of move really fast, and then we kind of get into the meat of the waning there. But yeah, again, just we've already got runners with wins under their belts here, and I believe that's a ninja there to start with a rather interesting set of bosses here. We got Mom Bombs, we got Dark Knight Cecils, we got Bygons. If it weren't for like that Bahamut and that Mist Dragon, I might think this was a Red Boon seed.
hmm Notably, we don't seem to have any of the sprites that, outside of like Football Gauntlet, which could be a blue robe, we don't have any sparkles, so we're not looking for any of those. We don't have any Rubicon or elements, so we're not looking for that sprite either. All of these should be pretty easily distinguished should we see them.
That would, yeah, that's definitely at least on checks you can peek here. And again, Blue Moon handing them an edge start here. Now with Blue Moon, unlike the Red Moon here, they are C necky here, so Edge is going to have a random claw or sword, I believe, up to a middle, I believe, equipped to him, and not much else. So a little bit more early looting kind of going on here, but it is kind of a little bit equaled out by that whole T Wildish thing going on here. So. While they are going to start a little bit under, they will get some more quality of loot here if you've been kind of watching between the two moons here.
Yeah, absolutely. With T. Wildishan and the Luth got a smile on them, we could find an edge with a Murasame and a Ninja Sword before too long. But even then, if he does start, say, with a low roll, we have a Charm Claw on or we have a Poison Claw on, I mean, you still cast Flame. That should get us through some early fights at the very least, but yeah, this is still a pretty strong start for a Blue Moon seed, I believe.
Yeah, you got Charm Claw. Just go fight some ogres. You're fine. It does effective damage, right?
Sure. Um, though, I mean, while Tybalt may appreciate a Charm Claw edge start, I'm sure both of our runners would prefer something else, and both of our runners, we're off. See what we got.
And here we go. Edge is going to be joined by Kane, so definitely a lot of physical power here. Got a mute knife. That's a wonderful starting item here. And a blue robe. So a 50-50 that gauntlet could have just been staring them in the face here.
Yep, that's a big thing for both of our runners to remember. That Baron Key could be buried, but our runners will hopefully remember that their starting boss could be someone that they need. And that's a very easy thing to forget if you find that Baron Key up on the moon an hour into the seed.
Yeah, and one big thing for people who have been watching, a free enterprise before here, and one thing we definitely have been doing in Zemus Zone 5 on the two moons here is we do have See No Earn, so all the free slots are up for grabs here, as we do see JBrunTR going straight to Mysidia to do some character checks. Hart, on the other hand, is heading over to Troya here because no demist hunts for us here. We got a Tella and a Rydia here over on the recruits there, while Hart is going to go check the free item on Bedward. So while Demist is an objective, she's not going to yield a key item this time around.
No key item for Demuth, but that Bedward does give us our hook, I believe. So that is our required underground access. No magma key here available on the overworld. But that's a very interesting pair of characters we found there in Mysidia. Tella is one of the most powerful characters you can find simply because he enables the warp glitch here on Blue Moon. He enables a Demus grind if you happen to find a relatively early Darkness Crystal. And that Rydia, excellent candidate both for an anchor and for a slingshot, which, we may be on a darkness hunt at this point, or Rydia may get to casting because they're the Bahamut just lying in Watery Pass.
I'd say if you find that Bahamut there, Rydia just got promoted from anchor to Blarg right there.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll take a little bit for Rydia to be able to have the requisite mana. I believe it's 60 mana to cast Bahamut. Rydia starts with a 10 max MP, so a few levels though, go knock out a fight over in, I don't know, Mount Hobbs, and she should be ready to go.
decent things there. And again, the power of Tela here is you do see that immediate exit spell, so you can kind of loot a little bit deeper in places like that watery pass there. Thunderclaw Mute, that's actually a pretty nice start for that edge there.
Yeah, if we were going to start with a claw, Thunder is what you wanted right there. Hit the weakness of multiple bosses. There's our Demus, by the way, in Mist Cave. That's one of our 8 required bosses.
Over 8 required bosses, we've got Vanilla Cane, we've got Vanilla Demus. Did we forget to bump the randomizer here?
Let's see, who was our restreamer tonight? Cubs? No. I think Cubs is very, very good at randomizing. Just, no, the randomizer may be a little broken is all.
Okay, just like the refund machine. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Man, that refund machine never works. I've been trying forever. It's like the, McDonald's ice cream machine. It's always down every time I ask for it.
Have you ever been to a McDonald's that has a working ice cream machine? And oh my, that's a ninja sword in the free treasury over there in Troya. And a Leviathan summon, so all the big guns for Rydia easily accessible here.
Yep, along with a Lilith Rod to go with it to boost her power a bit. So, if you can cast Bahamut, that Leviathan is a pretty decent and a little more mana efficient way of going about things. Heart also over here in Watery Pass finding her Bahamut. So we have Bahamut parity this early into the seed.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna... I mean, we do have definite other anchored candidates in both that Tela and that Sid we saw earlier here. So we're going to get the check here in Damsian, which is going to show us a very viable white mage. We always love to see a Rosa here.
Yes, I do not hate finding Rosa here simply because we have exit already covered through Tela. Otherwise, I would maybe prefer to find a Porum, but as long as you have one source of exit, we are good to go. So now we know 6 of our 7 characters in the seed. The last one is up there on Ordeals. Who would you like to see up there if you were either one of these runners?
I mean, we have our sweeper with Rydia having her big ticket summons there, so we really don't need Palom at this point. We've got our white magery handled with Rosa and Tello handling the exit there. If I'm super greedy, that last character I want to see a nice Charm Rod there for some extra magic power. So if I'm super greedy, I just want to see our Paladin there and see if we can't find him a Holy Sword as well. But again, Ninja Sword, Mute Knife already accessible for Edge here. Thunderclaw as well. Yeah, these the 2 runners here are not going to have a hard time at all getting through the early game with this.
No, not at all. They also both have a very open way of progressing through this seed. Normally you'll go, heavy berserkers. Normally you'll go heavy mages, one of the 2. Right now, it seems that both options are available. We have pretty good attackers between Kane and Edge, and with T. Wildishon, plenty of opportunity to find nice equipment for them. But we've already found very good casters in Rosa and Rydia as well, so I think a lot of it will depend on when that darkness shows up.
Okay, Dark Knights, there's Pain Man, where you're really not worried about finding him there. I don't even think that Darkness Wave is actually going to kill Rydia in this position, but it doesn't matter as Edge gets 2 swings off before he can even move.
And that's our second required boss. This time JBrun finds one. Has not yet found that Demist over in Mist Cave, but will eventually. An Ogre Axe, which is a pretty decent Kane weapon as well, or a Sid weapon if you want to keep that Sid around.
I mean, I do like Sid as an anchor here, and it does look like Hart is binning that Tela here, or just keeping him for later. Who knows right now? He is a very good character, but you do need to get him through his Mount Ordeals checks first there, just to actually get his spell suite online. Oh, hey, by the way, if you want mage killers, that weapon shop in Mysidia, both mute arrows and mute daggers, your one-stop shop for everything you're going to need, as JBrunTR is going to be very happy to see yet another required boss here in the Mist Cave.
Yeah, don't blink or you're going to miss it, because there goes that Demus, and that's the second boss for JBrun. If we didn't find that early or that immediate mute dagger from our starting blue robe, then I'm pretty sure Hart would be very happy to find those mute daggers, but just passing on him right now, can't blame her at all, going up Ordeals instead. And that was an interesting choice to bin that Tela, because now the party, at least over our side, is without an exit caster. And it remains to be seen how much that's going to impact her going forward. There's not a lot of reasons to cast exit early game. I mean, sure, Antlion Cave is really about it. Maybe Mount Hob if you want to loot the back of it, but very important later in the game.
A Tiara in there as well. This seed is screaming that, hey, Rydia is online here, and hey, you asked about that whole, greeting that Cecil? Well, here he is, right there, on his way to become a Paladin. Meets a nice group of friends ready to, help him get up there. Hardy Bow as well, my. T-Wild is showing its fangs here, just saying, hey, you guys want real ultimate weapons? Well, here you go.
Yeah, both of our runners tonight are not going to be wanting for options. They have plenty of options, whether with a Bahamut with Rydia, an Artibo with a Sid would be very powerful. Edge is already online with a Ninja Sword and a Mute Dagger, a Blizzard Spear and an Ogre Axe for Kayn. I mean, maybe we'll find, say, I don't know, a Crystal Sword in Eblin or an Excal in Eblin, and you won't know whose your source of damage is going to be, because everybody is the source of damage at that point.
Oh yeah, chat pointing out that Hart is running the original vanilla party here. And vanilla count +1, Mylon and Friends, exactly where Mylon and Friends usually is in the base game here.
Mm-hmm. Now JBrun also checked Mount Hob, that's just a ruby sprite up there, so not something we need. Still though, that's a little bit of information that JBrun has that Hart does not, because I don't believe she's been up there just yet.
No. Yeah, and it's something it's kind of, again, with the whole see no earn thing, it's something that's really kind of hard to check here, or, it's sometimes you just don't remember it just because you really, that character's gone, so why do you even really check it there? Unfortunately here, those Lit 1 counters coming out a little strong here from Mylon. I mean, it's nothing to edge here, but everybody else is not really liking those here.
No, and unfortunately for Hart, I don't believe she either found that Ninja Sword or equipped it, because that edge is still punchy with a Thunderclaw right now. Not doing a ton of damage on this Mylon, I'm afraid. Meanwhile, JBrun does have that Mute Dagger, does have that Ninja Sword. Will be pushing a little more damage, and also has some levels on Rydia, so she could just blarg her way to victory too, if she likes.
Rydia has collected some MP here. It was an original 30 hit points there, so might have gained levels there, might not have got the MP just yet, but those initial Lit 1s are kind of a little scary here in that spot. Amazing when you put a boss in their vanilla location, they function as intended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this spot right here with Mylon, I believe the lowest punchy spot in the game, lowest physical damage. But its magical damage is nothing to sniff at least this early in the game when you have a base level party. So normally you want to find someone here like a Water Hag or an Antlion, but yeah, regular Mylon, not exactly the most fun boss to find here.
Is going through looking for some equipment options on Hart's side there as we find a turtle.
Back attack turtle, not very fun. He'll get his wave wall up relatively quickly, but Hart, not concerned, had that Thor Rage out almost immediately. This wave should be nerfed. The wave would do about, I believe, 400 damage or so this early in the game, which would wipe out most of the party, save maybe Edge. So good play on Hart's side.
Yeah, they're queuing up that Thor Rage immediately. Definitely the play here. Back attack Kainatsu with a party that's pretty much a base. Definitely nothing to really kind of roll your eyes at here. But the thing is, as soon as you start actually doing a little bit of damage here, the fangs come off pretty quickly, and did equip that Artibo mute arrows there for has lit arrows too. That's interesting. Rosa about to do some damage here. Meanwhile, also going in, JBrunTR doing the same thing here. Does take that wave, but did at the very least get I believe he yeeted that Drain Sword there, and yeah, that'll do good, at least in nerfing that wave as well.
Also good at nerfing that wave, Bahamut. And JBrun is through. I
mean, good at nerfing everything, really, but...
except for maybe Big Bangs, but I learned that at different Zediga. To answer a question in chat, Blarg was in chest number 3 in Watery Pass, and both of our runners have it.
We are at Blarg parity, which is great. But base level Rydia, it does have a little bit of an issue actually casting it. The good news for Heart is Cagnazzo is now hiding in the shell, so just a little bit more. Yep, one more set of arrows from Rosa, and down goes the turtle. JBrunTR is in the Paladin room just a little bit faster, and we do get
More vanilla.
wow. Need to shake the seat a little bit harder next time.
Yeah. Are we sure we don't have Dathis at our restreamer tonight?
I know, right? It's Dathis wearing a Cubs disguise, apparently.
Yeah. Well, Octomam doesn't belong here at the very least. Not a boss that we need, but regardless, a relatively quick boss. And a big question now for JBrun is, where do you go? With that Rydia, with that Blarg, Eblin is pretty doable, I think.
Eblin is. The one big thing about having your Paladin Cecil online at, less than 15 minutes, as both of them do here, is, I mean, one has done Antlion here, one has done, you can go do full defense. You can get a few levels on that Cecil, get him a little bit of armor there, and you can kind of figure out, hey, did I find a Holy Sword? No, well, he's still a good cover tank, probably.
Another interesting play that I've seen other people do both on Blue and Red Moon with a Cecil after Ordeals is that Cecil starts at level 1. And both Blue and Red Moon start with the Freedom Kit, which comes with at least 1 or 2 Sirens. Using them up here at the top for Ordeal gets you a fight against 2 Lilith, which will give you about 5,500 XP, which is good enough to slingshot Cecil all the way to level 16, making him a much better cover tank. JBrun chooses not to do that, but Hart could take that up here.
I mean, that's one of the things that using a Siren, it does work that way. The full defense will give similar amounts of XP, so you could do that as well. I do like it for especially teams that have like a Palom. I know like Martin, who is running a ton of these seeds in his free time, has kind of noted that, hey, you get full XP slots up here on deals, you pop 2 Sirens, and somebody like a Palom gets virus by the end of Ordeals.
Yep, which really opened up the early game, whether it's Eblin, whether it's some really nasty fight waiting in Baron Inn. This Leviathan, notwithstanding of that, should be down on 1 or 2 hits, but never doubt or question the power of a very early virus or a very early quake as well.
The Leviathan does get off one big wave there for 25% of our team's total hit points. And there's boss number 3 lurking right over here in Mom Bomb here. So we're finding required bosses at a pretty good clip here, but you know what nerfs Mom Bomb?
I think Bahamut might do that. Now, unfortunately, it's probably going to take 2 Bahamut casts to get through this Mom Bomb, but maybe a Fire 3 from Tello will help out, and that Mom Bomb should be pretty slow because it's a relatively slow location compared to most other boss spots. So it's possible we don't even see the little bombless come out.
Really want to try to skip it here. Fire 3 just might not get enough there, and non-backroad Cecil there with an Ogre Axe, just a little bit short, so I mean, it's not really going to be a thing. You can probably just sit on Edge's turn, wait for the explosion. There's no real XP in this spot anyway. So you just sit there, wait for those to come out. 1 flame, you're done.
Yep, and that appears to be what JBrun is planning to do. Casting that lit 3, unfortunately, I don't believe it's going to hit more than 1 of these little bombs, but we should be getting Edge's turn shortly, and as you mentioned, 1 Ninja Flame coming out will take care of it. But hopefully he does get it out, because while this is a slow spot, it's a punchy spot. That Yang, who's normally here, hits pretty hard, and all of these bombs here will hit for the same amount of damage.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Slow spot, but can usually drop said early game Yang in 1 said punch there. And do you like music?
I mean, I like music. I just don't know if I like it right now.
I think I like it a little bit better with JBrunTR's Edge right now with that ninja sword in hand. But yeah, definitely. Do we like it? Do we want to go to? I mean, this party wants to go to Eblin.
Eblin is cool. The hook route is also cool. But there will be an incentive to run that twin harp simply because you have a Tela, and you wouldn't mind demachining if you have the opportunity to, especially if you don't find the crystal sword here. If that Dartmouth crystal is waiting in the twin harp, your opponent finds it and you don't. Your opponent will be running around at higher levels than you very shortly.
That is true. I will say that definitely, like, both of them have been leveling their entire party here. So while a D machine is absolutely on the table here, there will be no slingshotting here, as Rydia has at least done some catching up to the rest of the party here.
Mm-hmm. And I do like that twin harp a little bit better for JBrun than I do for Hart, simply because JBrun had that Exitcaster still in Tela. Eventually, Hart Cecil will learn Exit, but it remains to be seen whether he would learn it in time for Cave Magus should she decide to do it immediately after this Baron Inn.
I believe Exit is somewhere right around level 20 with Paladin Cecil here. We do see the Eblin Castle play here. So yeah, this team does want quite a bit of gear there. When that's a very interesting glass hat there, especially for Cecil, who already is in the back row here. So hey, you want to cover tank? You could do a lot worse than glass hat Cecil here.
A glass hat, excellent item. I believe gives the second best physical defense in the game, only second to the adamant armor.
Yeah, I think that man, I can talk today. I believe crystal armor also gets there, but yeah, crystal armor makes it so you can't berserk either. So there you are. Meanwhile, we do have Hart going into the Baron and should have no problem with this Leviathan Mom Bomb combo either here. While we do find the Staleman and Skulls here, one Ninja Flame, especially with a Mute Dagger, should deal with all the skulls up front. I do know the Staleman back there can be a little ornery sometimes there, especially if he just happens to get off a sleep punch here and there, but saw that Tela go for that Ice 3 and said, no thank you, we are not doing that today.
The Staleman is aware. He knows where the danger is, and that Ice 3 would have definitely killed him because Staleman, weak to ice, and what we're just going to have to do it the hard way. JBrun Edge takes care of it, and we'll see if we get our first shiny sword or not. Not quite.
No, quite. I mean, useful at places. I mean, that more like a Red Moon reward than anything, but here we are.
Still a tier 7, could have easily been an Avenger, which would have been nice, but a Moon Veil does have value as well. If there's something very onerous waiting for you on the hook route, you'd be happy you have it.
It does have an Ice Claw as well, so it does at least have the full run here of elemental weaponry as Hart is trying to. Nope, is going to get the Explode as well here, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, with that Mom Bomb, you're going to look at almost an extra about 10,000 hit points to chew through, roughly. So, dodging that explosion, not the easiest of things to do this early in the game.
No, sadly, we just don't have the offense outside of maybe a double Bahamut cast Rydia, which both Hart and JBrun's Rydia simply do not have just yet, but that'll be coming eventually. Still, the explosion comes out, and Hart will probably handle this relatively similar to JBrun.
Pointing out nice hats there. Yeah, another glass hat and a ninja hat. Very nice hats out here in Eblin Castle at the very least here, even if we haven't found any. There are throwing some life potions here and sneaking with Edge. Gonna go for some cheeky Bacchus Steel here, which again with Cecil Edge and even Rosa swapping to some effective weaponry here and there. Definitely not a bad idea to see if you can just make off with a little bit of wine here.
Yeah, even just one or two could really make that hook route a whole lot easier, especially if we don't find Bacchus along the Eblin hook route itself in the Eblin item shop. Looks like we are through this Mad Ogre chest. I'm not sure if it's our last chest or not, or our second chest. Have you been keeping count?
I think we still have Black Cat Lamia still available here. Rosa does learn Berserk there, so that's great. And hey, you may have spoken that Avenger into existence there. That's actually gonna be even better for Hart, who has kept that Kane there. That can arguably be Kane's best weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. People say, "Oh, the defense sword is great," or "I love the white spear," or "That dragoon spear is really something. Really helps kill eggs." But that Avenger, I believe I've heard many other people say that is Kane's best weapon, and I'm one to believe that.
It's basically you just glue it to his hand, forget Kane exists, as he just, is set on puree for the rest of the seed.
And even if we don't keep Kane around, I mean, Cecil can equip it, and if we don't find Bacchus wines, perfectly fine. The Avenger glitch will get us through many, many fights going forward.
Things that get us through fights. There's Bahamut dealing with that last one there. And we did. Oh my. GG. The seed is now won.
Well, that is a lot of power, pretty much at both of our runners' disposal, whether it's Bahamut, whether it's Crystal Sword, whether it's a fully powered Edge, an Avenger Kane, Artie Bow, Rosa. However you want to slice, dice, shoot, blarg, whatever you want to do this seed, it's available to you.
Or in technical terms, Holy Sword, go burr.
The hard part for both of our runners tonight will be how they choose to go about doing this seed. That blarg from Rydia, while being nice as a sweeper, seems to have lost its luster quite a bit. And I'd be wondering, at least on Hart's side right now, what is he planning on doing for an anchor?
Yeah, at this point, much as it pains me to say this, as I am definitely on Team Rydia here, if Hart goes through and does the full Eblin here, Hart is going to have Avenger on Kane, is going to have that's Bacchus Wine and Eblin there as well. It basically is gonna find better stuff for Edge eventually, and heck, those are even heroin robes out there in Eblin, and I know we already have an Hart has an Artie Bow from Mount Ordeals. JBrun skipped this, but this is a Berserker party here. This is, much as Blarg will get you there eventually, this is team hit things with big sticks now.
Absolutely. When we first saw those two come out in Mysidia, the base level Rydia and the Tella, I was thinking, oh, hey, D-Machine, let's go. At this point, with the Bacchus wine available, with a crystal sword, I think we're just hitting things. I think D-Machine is pretty much off the table at this point.
Oh yeah, this is, maybe we find some sirens underground. Maybe we just, maybe with the sheer power of this team, maybe you just don't deal with the grind unless you find like a 40-minute crystal in your hands, and all of a sudden it's, hey, we just need to have enough power to just chew through Zeromus here. But yeah, this is a lot of power in both of our runners' hands here, so let's see how they use it.
So JBrun will be the first one down the hook route, ahead of Hart by, I want to say, maybe 3 minutes or so. We did see an Antlion there, so in the Rubicon spot, that's about 25,000 HP of Googly Eyes. While, Crystal Sword will go burr, Crystal Sword will do damage, we just need to make care that we try to keep our team relatively healthy, because those counters are going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I think I just saw chat saying something about JBrunTR did sell both of those glass hats. I'm not sure I really would have went there. Oh no, there's a glass hat on Cecil there. But yeah, glass hats are silly good defense here, as Hart does pick up that Avenger. Is probably quite happy to find said Avenger. Oh, sold both Artie Bows. Okay. But yeah, glass hats are very good at keeping teams alive here, as Hart just decides that Avenger is going to go on Cecil, which, hey, not a bad thing here. Is about to get the even better news that Cecil is going to drop it on the floor, much like Andy, saying, I don't want to play with you anymore.
Just like the cats don't really want to play with Edge anymore. But hopefully that Cecil over on hard side is back road and should make relatively quick, and does, relatively quick work of that Black Cat. So we will have Crystal Sword parity going into this. Notably over on JBrun's side too, equipped that Cecil with a crystal armor. So if we enter the Antlion fight, that crystal armor prevents us from casting Berserk on Cecil, with the exception of that Avenger. So as long as we remember to use that, JBrun should be through this upcoming fight.
Yeah, and without a Kane to bogart that Avenger, and actually Hart did put the Dwarf Axe on Kane and is leaving Kane face down, especially with that Crystal Sword popping into his inventory at the moment. Cheeky Kane Anchor? Maybe find a Drain Spear? Who knows?
Yeah, very well. That Kane right there, probably decent enough with an anchor, only level 15. Probably around 10 agility, I would want to say, with that Dwarf Axe on. So should be a serviceable enough anchor. No need to go pick up that Tela or anything like that in order to handle this hook route. So very good play on hard side, saving a second trip back to Mysidia and staying anchored for this googly eye that JBrun is currently fighting.
Okay, moving that Avenger up there, so definitely is looking to, is going back in. Oh, may have not went on the left tower yet here, or has a few more. I could have swore Hart did pick up all the chests. Oh, has that one there. I don't know if that was a reset or what have you there. Again, there are maybe one or two fights I might still want that Rydia Sweeper for, but again, as you said, with just so much power in this party here, I love me some Blarg, but sometimes it's just leaning into what you're good at.
Mm-hmm. So we see a little bit of chaos over on JBrun's side. Having a little bit of trouble with this Antlion. Most of the party's down, but that Cecil not taking really any damage whatsoever in the back row, with the exception of the counter, because Glass Hat doesn't care about that. Down goes Edge. Cecil has an Avenger on. This is a Jesus take the wheel moment. And we're about to see what happens, because maybe 3 more counters and that Antlion will kill our Paladin.
Just did not see how much damage those counters are running a little. Never mind. There it goes. Down goes Antlion. Sometimes just Crystal Sword, Avenger Cecil, all you need as Chamber is underground, at least just barely above 30 minutes.
That's an excellent time for Falcon Percent and an excellent time for Blue Moon. That's a pitfall, as you mentioned, 30-34, 30-33. Very good time. Hart just entering Eblin Cave now, and we'll see how quickly he gets through this. We're getting our boss check at the top. CPU, don't want to do that if I was JBrun or Hart. So let's see what else waits.
I mean, I don't want to do it, but again, with the offense this team is wielding, I'm not dreading it. It's actually one of those where I'm like, well, maybe I actually do want to just berserk that Cecil, fire up the Bahamut machine, and we can probably. Oh no, Hart, you bought a Leviathan. Was that what you wanted to do?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we could do that CPU at top of tower, but without a tower key in hand right now, we just don't have an incentive to do it. So,
Yeah.
JBrun and Hart both do not have any type of, guiding key item once they hit underground. We don't have a tower key, we don't have a pan or anything like that. So JBrun, I believe, is taking the logical and common route once getting underground of going to Dwarf Castle, because that's not just 2 boss checks, but 2 key item checks as well, with the warp glitch being on here in Blue Moon.
Even if Tela didn't have his spells, Rydia learns warp really fast there, so generally at least good reason to keep her around for a little bit there, even if she didn't have that Bahamut summon there, and maybe just leaving a character for your anchoring back in Mysidia here, as we do see well, we're not unhappy to see her either there, because unfortunately for Val, our parties have Avengers and Crystal Swords and other things that are other things that really don't care. I mean, it cares about your evasion, just not as much as she wants it to be.
Yep. By the time we found that Crystal Sword in Avenger, any concern about Val pretty much disappeared into the Aether. And Val is going to have a bad day here, maybe dying in about 4 swings, so JBrun not the least bit afraid here. Also, 20 Bacchus wine as well. That edge is going to be good and drunk by the end of the seed.
20 Bacchus wines, and even if all that didn't happen, you have the two characters between Edge and Rosa, between Dart and Aim, who can at least rig the whole system to have 100% hit rates. Anyways, so yeah, just not a good day for Val here.
Not at all. Probably the only character right now in any danger, I would believe, is Iridia, who probably, if she takes a punch to the face, is probably going to be taking a nap here alongside Tella.
Yep, very much there. Unfortunately, I do believe she's got the magic evasion here. Now, not in that second slot, but I'm pretty sure that Bahamut is not going to fire off there.
Yeah, I can definitely confirm Dwarf 2 does not have the magic evasion. Dwarf 1, as you note, also had that maximum magic evasion that Bahamut unfortunately just completely whiffing. But still, Crystal Sword, Cecil go Burr. Val is still not long for this world, most likely.
Yeah, about the only thing you're really scared of here is I'd really want Val to drop here before, like, say, Cecil takes a week, because if you just kind of go around, this is Dwarf 1 here, and you could just run into an exceedingly rude, say, Ogo Pogo right behind, who, just double big waves you into a reset right there.
And we're about to find out. So if there is an Ogo Pogo, Iridia, Cecil, both perfectly fine. That edge may be cutting it a little close, but we should be fine with Ogo. I think the more concerning one would be Wyvern.
Now
and
we get to see
it could
if you
be
just...
Wyvern.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you just speak that Wyvern into existence?
Not quite. Cecil still had that Avenger on, but one-shotting the D-Lunar is not a problem here.
Yeah, at roughly about 3,000 hit points here, you don't mind having that Avenger for these D-Lunars. Oh no, he hit one for 1,000. Oh, the other one's about dead, and Ninja Flame doesn't even get off because that Avenger just takes yet another swing, and we're through Dwarf. No bosses here, but now we do get into the 2 key item checks here. And I will say, this is definitely weird for me, because I am definitely one of those people who, like, I never get access to the warp glitch anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I would be one of those people that just be like, man, I might just walk out and forget about it. And, yeah, once it's gone, it's gone.
Yep. I've seen that happen multiple times this tournament already on Blue Moon, and hopefully JBrun does not forget about it. Because that could save you a lot of time. Does not forget, though, this warp coming out. Let's figure out what Luca Cave had for us. Just an apple.
Well, now you're glad you didn't have to dive Luca Cave. That is kind of the weird thing here. So even though you have the key item out of Luca Cave here, that boss still exists.
That is true. And, there definitely have been games won and lost by that cheeky Luca Cave check, even here on Blue Moon. It takes about a minute to check to walk on down there, but it could really just be your path to go mode. Now, instead here at Dwarf Castle, we find our tower key, and now we have a little bit of impetus to go up that tower.
Oh yeah, I am, that tower key in hand, knowing that CPU really isn't a huge threat up there, especially now we have, 20 Bacchus wines, and, hey, full moons too. That's decent there. So now even our Edge is back road if we need him to be. So yeah, I'm all for actually climbing that tower right now.
Yeah, definitely not opposed. If I had a pan, maybe I'd do something else, but that's 2 key item checks, 1 boss check. We already know that top of tower, as you mentioned, CPU. But we're still looking for a darkness, we're still looking for a Baron key, we're still looking for any type of key item that gates our bosses. Now over on Hearthside, he has gotten through that initial fight on the hook route, now facing this Antlion down. Taking a safety save, do not blame him at all because always be saving.
We do get a job dwarf check there. I believe that was said it was a community health nurse, I believe. I'm just going to say we're just gonna like registered nurse. So hey,
Yeah, it's a little weird that job dwarf can't hold a job.
I mean that's a perfectly good job to hold.
It is. I just have a feeling he won't be holding it by next seed.
Yeah, I mean, well, hey, you got to branch out.
Variety is the spice of life, I guess. The heart is ready to go with this Antlion. Avenger glitches the Cecil, and we'll see if his Antlion fight is nearly as exciting as JBrun's, or if he keeps it, nice, simple, easy, ready to go.
It may be more so.
Oh.
That's a front rank Cecil there. So those counters are going to come out and do about the same there as they were, but unfortunately, Cecil is not going to be enjoying the defense in the back row here. So those punches, especially that front row, I just saw Kane get, Kane, who is kind of been relegated to anchor duty. Unfortunately, just took a near 800 hit point hit, and Edge didn't really fare much better here. The good news is, I mean, Cecil just keeps trucking along for somewhere between 25 and 3,000, and here comes Bahamut for a bunch. So Hart should be through this. That's a little less than I thought.
As long as Rosa doesn't take a hit here, we should be good.
But also, oh my, look who we found in the Super Cannon room. That's boss number 4 here with absolutely no hit points to her name in this spot. So you love to see it.
All right, Hart unfortunately takes the wipe down here in this Antlion, but good news is that he saved after that first fight, so didn't lose too much time, and we'll give it another shot, I'm sure. But yeah, that Asura over in Tower Key is huge. Taking that CPU because it could be our Darkness Crystal or some other key item we need. Only having 1, 2, 3, 4 key items at the 40-minute mark is kind of low for this flag setting thing.
It's kind of weird. Again, I'm on the other set there, but yeah, just I've been having a bunch of just seeds now. I mean, maybe it's just because some of the key items have just lost, like Sand Ruby really doesn't do anything anymore. Magma's just yay, we can get underground, but not really anything else. So yeah, it's definitely a little weird here, just because key item parity is just something that you're just looking for the boss gating ones, and the rest of them are just, well, I guess they lead to the other ones, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, possibly. There could be a chain out there. But here we go. Hart goes in for round number 2 against his Antlion. And this CPU, well, this is about 20k HP, I believe, scattered across all 3 orbs. And it looks like we're going with Plan Q immediately.
That is the plan I would absolutely go for here. Plan Q. Again, and when it comes down to it, while Globe 199 is kind of a Mega Nuke adjacent spell there, really not much magic power to speak of up here. So Edge and Cecil might get away with that, but I mean, again, with Anchor Tella down, Cecil just swinging that Avenger there. 1 Bahamut plus should do the trick, as we did see the Remedy come out for about 15,000, so Remedy does do 10% of CPU's total health and healing, so we do know that between Rydia and Cecil, over 12k has been done already, so CPU not long for this world, yet one more swing there. And I'm kind of wondering, because I did see Hart did probably want Rydia to get more turns. Gave her the Artemis bow, which will give her more agility. Unfortunately, that minus 15 to wisdom is exactly what you want to see here. The one thing Hart may want to consider here is both did go through that Eblin Castle there. should have that Moon Veil there. Might just be able to, glue it to Cecil, have somebody throw in some Cure 2s and to get through counter, because the Moon Veil will not respect counters there, but yeah, that might be a good place to drop that Moon Veil.
Yeah, totally agree. If you were going to go with a Bahamut-centric approach, Moon Veil would be an excellent use in this situation. Maybe the next time, if there is a next time, but this is getting a little close, and unfortunately, another reset for Hart here. He's going to have to recalibrate and give it another go. JBrun, however, did top of tower, found a rat tail behind that CPU, so that's Schrodinger's Darkness Crystal. Remains to be seen whether that ends up in being anything of use, but that's key item number 5, so we are halfway to double XP, and we may get key item number 6 right here.
Yep, Hart is bailing out. I am wondering very much if this is a play on Twin Harp here.
Looks like Hart may be trying to find a little more XP, maybe looking for those Mad Ogres.
Yeah, Mad Ogres would do it as well here.
So with a life glitch, or at least 3 life glitches, I think ends up being about 15,000 XP. We'll give a little more HP to all of his characters. Just where are those Mad Ogres at?
They're always in the place you don't want to find them, which means right now they're probably in like the oh nope, there they are. First screen, but
yeah, all the way back at the entrance. And womp womp, that is the saddest ruby of them all, waiting for us in the Fey March freebie. Our Darkness Crystal is still outstanding. We only got, unfortunately, a stack of Artie arrows from that tower key, so that ended up being a bit of a womp, with the exception to find that required boss in the Super Cannon room.
I mean, that's still a good thing to hit there. Man, that ninja sword that that was found there is just. I mean, I'm watching Edge punch for like 1100 with no effective damage. Well, with effective damage on that mute knife there. So, and I feel a little sad there. It's just like if we just had that little bit more, and maybe this trap chest. Who knows? Maybe it's that's a dragon whip. That's not exactly what we want to see.
No, sadly not. So it looks like Hart will be backtracking a little more, maybe searching for a little more XP, maybe the Staleman chest or some other type of power available. Looks like we're exiting out, so yeah, maybe it very well could be a Twin Harp play, as you mentioned.
Again, if you are Hart at this point, I guess you are really hoping for that Darkness Crystal and just taking it straight to the moon here. Meanwhile, we find a Karate Man, which basically not really healthy for the rest of the party here, as those kicks are something here, but back row Cecil just kind of standing there, being a wall, just saying, you can just bring it, I'll take whatever you have to kick here, and yeah, immediately down Mega Sisters in the other slot, and that's just a Gungnir Lance, so it's Dart.
Yeah, Dart's okay. Maga Sisters may be a little bit of a challenge because they're a little punchy, and we're a little low on level for the time being for this entire party, but JBrun appears to be gearing up for them, maybe depending on the power of that Mute Knife, that Bahamut casting, Rydia, as well as that Crystal Sword to get through this fight. Just do more damage so they don't kill you first.
Pretty much. I mean, as you say, the offense is absolutely there. It's just getting it out before they offense you.
Other side, we are seeing Hart dive Cave Magni, so we will get a Twin Harp check around here at the 45-46 minute mark. This could be big. This is the first bit of divergence we've seen in routing, and if this is the Darkness Crystal, as was alluded to earlier, this could be huge for Hart.
Meanwhile, unfortunately, Cindy picks the wrong target to take that physical swing at. Decides Shiny Paladin is best thing to hit, and unfortunately for her, 1 damage is not exactly what they're going for here, and here comes Bahamut.
And down go the sisters, so we're just down to a Maga Sister, rather than Maga Sisters, and the party. Should be a relatively short time, and we'll see if our Darkness Crystal is hiding here in Fey March.
Yeah, JBrunTR has made extremely short work of this underground here. After this, there's really only a Sheila check, and well, we talked about that boss on the Luca key. Well, here you go.
How cheeky are you feeling? While we know it can't be our darkness crystal, Demus have nothing for us, and we've already gotten the key item out of Luca. As you mentioned earlier, it could be one of those bosses that gets you to 5 bosses. But
Yeah,
before,
it's a free peak, so I just put your save out here and just be happy to reset out of it if it goes that way here. But we do have music here, so I am gonna shut up for just a little bit here. Then they went and interrupted the music anyway.
well, the good news is that boss was free. The bad news is it wasn't required. So we're really depending on this key item to be something important for Heart.
Yeah, I mean, hey, free XP, and what do we have here but a... Well, I mean, you do have a cane in the party.
It is a functional weapon. Sadly, Antlion is not a dragon, though.
And that does kind of mean that our progression here that JBrunTR has showed us here is Sheila has the goods one way or the other here.
That or the rat tail has something, which is still outstanding.
True.
Also, during that twin harp check, JBrun was down in the Luca cave, giving us that cheeky check. Only a Mylon Z down there, not required. So, Luca, no value today. Just a Mylon Z and an apple.
I mean, free boss with that Crystal Sword Cecil, but
and it looks like we're getting our rat tail check first. If you get a pan here, it's a little bit of a field bad moment. But if you get a darkness crystal or an earth crystal, it's not too bad.
Man, it's just one of those things where I see that earth crystal and I look at my party and it's like, can I interest you in the treasury? And I'm like, I'm not sold on a treasury right now.
Yeah, maybe like 30 minutes ago, I would be all up in it. But I mean, what am I looking for in this treasury? Maybe a Zeus gauntlet, a power shirt, but nah, I'm not like really. I don't really need weapons anymore.
I really don't need anything anymore, but a man of the people here is gonna let us rate this treasury anyway, apparently. Might want ninja swords, that's about the only thing I can think of you're wanting here. Maybe Zeus Gauntlets power shirt, something like that.
Mm-hmm. We'll get your numbers ready. Of course. So yeah, that was the second crystal sword. That was a nice power shirt.
Power shirt, definitely the biggest thing here. I mean, crystal sword, I guess you can you can use to you can exchange it for goods and services.
Light
Oh,
staff
and
is nice. Yeah,
yeah,
Murasame is good.
yeah, those last two chests. But I mean, just tells us a look. I mean, heck the rules. Just start using the other crystal sword.
That second crystal sword actually could be a little bit of a logistical nightmare for JBrun, simply because if he ever sorts while he has that Avenger equipped after combat, those two crystal swords are going to stack and then becomes a little bit of a pain to try to separate them again.
Where's Asuka here to just keep chanting, "Sell it, sell it, sell it"?
That'd be the best course of action, in my opinion. Asuka
That
knows
would
what
be,
she's talking about.
yeah, that is the best course of action there. Yeah, there you go. Somebody else says, "Feed it to the big chocobo." That is also a legitimate action here.
Mm-hmm. No, at this point, you don't need money anymore. You've got your, stacked buckets lines for edge already. We're good. Money, not really required, unless maybe we want to do, say, a siren grind, but we still have to find the sirens.
Now, the good news for Hard at this point is, while there wasn't much in the way of loot there, Rosa did get to the Blink spell, so Blink very effective against Antlions at the very least here, as as those Blinks immediately go down. Antlion does not like himself a Paladin, apparently. And those Bahamut's are coming out for about 5k, so even better there.
Yep, about 5 of those Bahamut's, 5 or 6 will get hearts through this fight. That Rydia as well, also in critical damage right now, so automatically being covered by Cecil. As long as we keep that Cecil up, we should be able to get through this fight relatively quickly.
Meanwhile, we are going to get a little bit of redux here on some peaceful days, which we're not really, here right now, but Eddie's going to play it along anyway.
And JBrun will get the bad news about a Dragoon Spear here. Another nice dart, but... And it looks like JBrun will be walking it out, but it's not the Darkness Crystal we're looking for.
No, not at all. That was the 4th Bahamut that just came out for Heart there. At this point, that's roughly about the 20k damage here. It might be time to just blink up Cecil here, and yeah, here goes. Blinking up Cecil, there's the crystal. Go and swap it out for the Avenger. Should be through here. It should take only a couple swings for Cecil to get through here. And really just gets punched one more time, survives it, and now Heart is through there. Antlion going down.
And good job to Hart. That's a difficult hook route to get through. Antlion at 25k. With the limited amount of levels you have prior to hook route, never really a good time. So hats off to him for getting through it.
So the very good news here for Hart is that we only found one boss in the underworld here. It was via dwarf going to the tower there. But the one thing is, I mean, if I am Hart, I do feel behind here. And I'm kind of wondering if I assume maybe like if Sheila won, because we're still between like Zot and Sheila won here, having access to that darkness crystal there, if Hart goes to like Dwarf, doesn't find anything other than that tower key, might be inclined to take a little bit more of a gamble to possibly get back in this race. And that would definitely be the gamble to take here at the moment. Unless Zot's coming up with multiple bosses that we need here, but we're about to get our Zot 1 check right now. And no, those are just Dark Imps. We're not looking for them.
Yep, Dark Imp's not who we're looking for. Bahamut will take care of it relatively quickly. But yeah, probably the best gamble Hart can make right now to get back into this game is to fade the Fey March bosses. And heading down here immediately may not want any piece of them. Maybe the Karate, because it is just one hit and you're done with that Cecil. But may not want to do anything else. And that would save a little bit of time.
There was pretty much almost absolutely nothing down there for our runners here, so yeah, here comes the Bahamut to take care of the Dark Imps here. Does Hart just take a look at those Feymarch bosses and say, well, you're not on my list, so we're out?
And as mentioning in chat too, there are still some nasty bosses that could be found here as Zot 2, and JBrun is not taking a save. Still is fast anchored too with that edge in the middle. If there happens to be, say, a Wyvern here or a Golbez, that could be a very precarious position for JBrun.
Yeah, much so. That Val spot is packing an absolute ton of magic power here. Maybe a little less like if you draw like a Ruby there, because even the Crystal Sword Cecils, we're only going to draw one counter there. Which should be an issue, but yeah, get a Blar, Odin's probably not going to get there fast enough. Yeah, Val we have definitely already seen here.
All right, I think we had white ears on our pigs, and that results in a Golbez. This is very dangerous because
this is, yeah.
Oh, this is super dangerous because Cecil's also had that Avenger on.
Yeah, so if now, mind you, he's got about 3 swings to Golbez here, so Golbez does want to down that Cecil. But I mean, at that point, if you say you leave Rosa and Rydia, well, I mean, it just definitely depends here. Oh, Cecil is Cecil's got that crystal armor. That's why he's not getting paralyzed. So, yeah, if Golbez leaves that Cecil out of the demolish on Shadow here, then nothing much going there. Meanwhile, Hart sees the Feymarch, says, I want no part of that, I'm out, and that is absolutely the correct play here.
Yep, Hart is not going to be punished at all for fading those 2 bosses. So good play on his part. Back on JBrun's side, it looks like we lost our Rosa. We're also going to lose our Cecil. So it comes down to whether Edge is fast enough to get a Star Veil off here. Because if not, that Golbez is literally going to be one-shotting everybody on this team.
Yeah, it's anchor situation. You want the fast anchor here, so Edge should be able. But as chat points out, that Hart is going to miss that Luca key, so is not even going to be tempted to dive down that way either. So even more time saved here.
And JBrun doing some run buffering, does get that Star Veil off. We're safe. JBrun is good. And that'll be boss number 5. And just in time, too, because that virus is coming straight for Edge's face.
Yeah, 2,832 on that virus. This spot does not mess around with the spell power whatsoever.
And one more hit should finish it, and that'll be boss number 5 for JBrun. So that paying off, top of tower CPU into that rat tail, into that earth crystal, gating another boss. That tower had a lot of value today.
Yep. And the good news for Hart is heading straight to Dwarf to start that chain here. So Hart is going to get the good news of the tower key, which should move him on that same path here.
But here's the big question. Our progression is either here through Thought or through that Sheila that JBrun decided to fade a little while ago. If this is darkness, JBrun's feeling pretty good about himself.
Can I interest you in a Baron key? And we're gonna get an answer on that blue robe, I'm assuming, very quickly here.
Mm-hmm. You definitely could interest me in a Baron key, because once we find that darkness crystal, we're effectively in go mode. We have found every key item on JBrun's side, save the darkness crystal and the package that can gate a boss. So darkness crystal is effectively go mode.
Yeah, it absolutely is there. Just kind of depends on where you find it. It could be effective go mode. I mean, that go mode could still be could still be in the back of the giant, but it definitely is somewhere where you have the ability to find it there. As Hart is finding that Val at Dwarf 1. 50-50. You think we got a water hag, or you think we've got our 6th boss here?
I am going to go with of the Alt Gauntlet simply because everyone loves Senator Crocodile. And I think JBrun is very well situated for that too. Having Edge sitting there in the middle slot will probably have a pretty good shot of getting Ninja Fires off or other type of ninjutsu off to one-shot all these bosses should it be the Alt Gauntlet. And that's an Alt Gauntlet.
All right, the chair recognizes Senator Crocodile.
So, I always thought that Baron was a democracy. I'm sorry, it wasn't a democracy. It was a monarchy. Why do we have senators here?
I mean, maybe I'll get back to you on that one.
Okay. Now it's a bit of a rare cast. We have Jin. Will take care of this fight, and does cast a little bit faster than Bahamut, so good use of Rydia's spells over there on JBrun's side.
I mean, I'm going for an economy there. Bahamut, great at getting rid of everything you needed to get rid of. Unfortunately, again, as said before, it's got a pretty hefty 60 MP price tag attached to it, so... So I can definitely see, at the very least, just kind of, with especially the Baron Basement and Throne bosses still looming, keeping something in the tank for Rydia to do there.
That's a good point. We may not even find our Darkness Crystal. Say they're the pass here, our 7th boss is waiting on the Baron Throne or Odin Throne. We may just be ready to go to Z, although the question of a grind remains. And looking at the talk about monarchy and parliaments in chat, that's a possibility, but I'm going to go with my own little narration of Senator Crocodile is actually a rebel trying to overthrow the government of Baron and install a democracy. Kind of like a freedom fighter. And Cecil's having no part of that today.
Cecil, the tyrannical, brutal despot, apparently.
Like, I never played the After Years, but maybe he ends up being one. I don't know.
I'm just going to leave that one there.
Just because some, disembodied voice up on a mountain throws a legend sword at you doesn't make you a good ruler, right?
I mean, to be fair, it was his own dad that did it, so, is that really... Oh, hi, Blarg.
Blarg, this is dangerous.
So maybe we're just... Maybe Senator Crocodile was revolting against the tyranny of Blarg instead.
Well, sadly, Senator Crocodile wasn't able to take down the throne, but Edge being fast enough. It's very good to be very fast this early or this late in the game when you find Wyvern here, because this is a very high magic spot as we just saw. Edge, the last man standing. And we're about to find out whether this is our darkness crystal or if we're still searching.
I mean, we still have a basement check here too, as well. Hart does, unfortunately, just find the apple in the throne room there, so does pick up that tower key and will be pushed towards the pushed toward the chain there. That tower key leads to everything
Mm-hmm.
there. So again, Sheila 1 could still have that darkness crystal, and I kind of would rather she does, just because of the funnies here. But oh nope, there's darkness crystal where it should be, right in the Baron trash can.
All right, at this point, it is just a find one boss and go win the game for JBrun. The big question is, how long does it take him to find that one boss? As you mentioned, it could be buried at the back of Giant. It could be buried someplace we just don't want to find a Baigen like 65k HP. That gives Hart a little bit of time to make up some time here and catch up.
Is making the correct play, following that tower key, is going to pick up boss number 4 and the progression forward there. And probably should just, again, should just follow that here. JBrunTR does figuring out that maybe I should actually, I am probably just face checking this, but maybe I should be a little bit healed for this, just in case it is somebody I need to be alive for.
And JBrun also wisely slow anchoring for this spot, because while you can fast anchor for that Baron Liberation Throne, fast anchoring for this Odin Throne, a little more difficult. A very speedy, very high physical spot. And this is a Sparkle. We don't need a Sparkle.
Well, that's Pale Dim, and we don't need a Pale Dim. But it does look like JBrunTR's going to take it here, even with that Darkness Crystal in hand.
Now, for the longest time when I first started playing Free Enterprise, I thought, oh, look, Edge just started a Dragoon Spear at a dragon. That's going to do bonus damage, right? No,
Maybe not so much, no. It does take them a couple more games to get that, as I have been playing a little bit of the Final Fantasy VI randomizer there, and I can actually confirm that that yeeting elemental weakness things at bosses do confer their. So yeah, what we're saying is this is a very well coded game, everybody.
I will say they did a heck of a job for, what was it, 1992?
Oh,
and
yeah.
only having like just a megabyte or two worth of data. Oh, say the line. Say the line,
I'll let
you.
you say the line. I'm fine.
No.
But apparently, guess what? Oh no, he reset out of it. I'm not I am not contractually obligated to say it if he reset out of it. Nope. That Magna key is right where it was down there.
I'll say it.
Yeah, he reset. We cannot get underground. Underground is locked to us.
Yay, we can get underground now.
No, he can't get underground. That Magna key is right back in the Baron basement where he left it.
He could have temporarily gotten underground.
He could have very much
counts. Also, I'm corrected. This game came out in 1991, not 1992 like I thought.
Still, I mean, for the like 1 to 2 megabytes of data and all the duct tape they had, yes, they did do a stellar job with it. Just meanwhile, Hart did queue up that Bahamut and does look to be going at least some planned queue here as well.
Yeah, so Hart is making, as you mentioned, the absolute right play here. I was a little worried Hart would, just do the Penguinator, find that half tower, and find, say, your Asura, and then go do other stuff. Maybe Zemus behind the Feymarsh, but killing the CPU up here is the right play, as we know. Globe 199 is falling down, though. Cecil, unfortunately, cannot take that hit. And we're in a little bit of a race now to see if we can kill the CPU before it revives its additional orbs.
Oh no, Kane took a Globe 199. Oh no.
Whatever shall we do? It's Blarg number 2. That's the dead CPU. So plan Q, success.
Plan Q is always the best way to go after CPU anymore.
Now we found some sirens up here on the moon, very useful. That gives us a grind option without having to rely on D machines or anything else. What are you feeling up here? Double gold dragons, warlocks?
I mean, I would. Both of you. You have the tele for weak, although you would have to kind of down them a few times. I didn't see hourglasses, but we do have Rosa, which we might be able to get, like, put her in the slot too, and see if she can just fire off a mute before they just start firing off their elemental magics there. But we do have a lot of age-killing gear, so warlocks kind of feel like a good move.
Yeah, with 10 key items, if you can life glitch the 2 warlocks, it's pretty close to the gold dragon damage. And they're that go mode, by the way. Baigen over here in cave value will be a little bit of a challenge, though, for JBrun with the level that he currently has. Lots of offense, but this is a very, very, very punchy spot.
Yeah, JBrun then also finding out that maybe I should actually heal up again. Taking that party after that reset from Schrodinger's magma key. But yeah, that Baigen is gonna punch and is gonna punch hard. And hey, you know, we found those sirens. I would be sorely tempted to burn a few here and just take a couple gold dragon fights if we can. Now, mind you, again, I don't see any hourglasses there, so that might not be the play. Oh, nope, there's a hourglass. I'd take it. Sure, why not?
Yeah. I mean, 180,000 XP, nothing wrong with that. And as you mentioned, we can summon double gold dragons right here on this screen, floor 3 of Cave Bahamut, or floor 2. And that is exactly what JBrun is doing.
Yep.
That hourglass coming out, this will be a nice chunk of XP and should make the Baigen a lot more doable for JBrun. Also notable too, I don't know if JBrun ever used that moon veil that we found back in Eblin Castle, so this would be an optimal time to use it.
Of course, I know that that was not used at any point in time through either runner there. That Bahamut comes out pretty strong there, Rose Bolt Dragon, so no life glitch, so only 120k. I mean, only, we say, but yeah, JBrun, yeah, I haven't seen either of our runners actually drop that moon veil in, so... Now, mind you, I guess you could just keep dropping sirens here and just using Rydia for Blard here. This is actually, I know we were talking earlier about, you know, just kind of having real ultimate power, and we didn't know if, you know, Rydia was going to be a thing here. This is kind of one of the fights where you want that sweeper there to deal with those arms. The more time Baigen spends regenerating those arms, the less time he is just, you know, trying to beat on your party.
Yep. Not only that, but those arms punch just as hard as that center body part as well. So by keeping the arms down, you're reducing his outgoing DPS by at least 66%, if not more. Notably, though, Cecil in that back row still had that glass hat equipped, I believe. So only taking a few hundred damage, this should be very, very doable for JBrun. Down goes both arms, and we've already put about 20k damage on that body. Not long for this world.
Kind of feels a little weird when Edge is your third DPS behind both Rydia and Cecil. Maybe less so Cecil, but yeah, definitely has all the magic power for that Rydia. So those Blars are coming out at full strength.
Over on Heart's side, taking care of Fabul defense, decided to fade that early on. I don't believe there's anything of value up here, no key item at the very least, so no punish whatsoever for fading Fabul defense. And we'll turn in Sheila 1 at the same time, because I don't believe JBrun ever turned that in. Oh, that's a package. Huh.
Oh, well, that could be interesting, actually. You know, it would have to be exactly Bahamut back there, but both Faded Fabul, I mean... I'm gonna hold my peace on fading Fabul here.
Of course, there's the pan here.
Oh, vanilla pan.
So our tracker Fried Potato pointing out that both of our runners tonight faded Fabul. Huh, I completely missed that. Very interesting, very bold on both of their parts, but you know, no punish whatsoever. Fabul did not have the goods today. But what did have the goods was everything that JBrun did, and with that crystal in hand at an hour 16, heading down to Zeromus to try to win this thing and move on to the round of 16.
Yeah, the big question here is, does JBrun decide to again maybe reuse or not on the menu, but does have that mute dagger with edge. I could see a few warlocks coming by here, as I believe he is early 40s, I believe.
Hmm. Early mid 40s. I think Rhoda just got Cure 4 off of that Baigan fight. So still relatively low levels. We do have a lot of offense, especially with that Crystal Sword Cecil. But I would not mind taking a fight on the way down to try to solidify and make the Z fight a lot safer than it otherwise could be.
Yeah, alternatively could do something cheeky like, peek the ribbon room, see if you've got a free boss in there. I'm pretty sure Officer Soldier's still out there.
I believe so. There are a few free bosses out there, like a Bahamut, for example.
Yeah.
But it looks like JBrun said, nope, I am happy with what I got. Crystal Sword Cecil go burr. Rydia may or may not be casting Bahamut this Z fight, but that's a lot of power. That Crystal Sword Cecil is going to be chonking away for 5-6k damage, especially with that power shirt that he has on. We could just see the Rosa and Cecil show going on tonight.
True. Yeah, those are late 30s, early 40s we're at here. So that is a little bit spicy in terms of Big Bang, and actually JBrun is going for that ribbon room here. So and we find Ruby.
This is doable. About, I believe, 42,000 HP at this spot, so it's going to take, by the looks of it, 7 to 8 Crystal Sword swings, and these counters do a bit of damage.
Yep,
But
yeah, it does have the Ice Claw as well for Edge, so it is going to swap over to that while Hart gets the news about the treasury just being a whole load of stuff we already have plus a power shirt.
We have power shirt parity, Hart heading up Azat, which is the right play. Still a little bit behind JBrun, but again, still not completely out of it yet because this is the Romans fight. Never completely free, especially with the levels that JBrun currently has. And even another 200k isn't going to get Rydia to nuke or anything like that. So it's still going to be mid-level Berserker strats.
Understood it. I believe we talked to somebody about Zeromus's behavior in terms of countering summon, or at least the call command on there, and I believe it's only on phase 2 or actually 3, I believe, where where it actually buffs his big pang there. I believe like in the first phase, which like the first about 60,000 HP, where the Bahamut will actually nerf as intended, if I recall.
So I did that back during a community race not too long ago, and I noticed that Bahamut decided to cast a very low damage virus on me in response to casting a Bahamut. So I'm not sure if that would have powered up his Big Bang or not. I was a little scared by the virus, so I quickly cast another nuke to try to ensure that the nerf was in place. So I can't confirm right now. But yeah, I'm not sure if JBrun's going to take that risk tonight.
Yeah, actually the big thing with Hart is due to Hart never finding that ninja sword in the public treasury there, that Mirasame is actually a really nice hit.
It is. That edge will be doing some pretty decent damage for Hart going forward. But over on JBrun's side, we're doing the walk down the final lunar subterrane. We'll be having our Z fight very shortly. And there's normally a question we like to ask at this time of night.
Are we underground yet?
I mean, we were able to get underground for a split second. But no.
Let's see here. Yeah, we do have yes, it is nap time. It's not our nap time, however. It is the nap time for one Zeromus, too big to randomize, but too big to not randomize here. So we're just gonna, he decides he wants to dress up a little bit, and we're not gonna fault him for it, but whose butt are we kicking tonight?
And why can't we move it to Antlion Cave?
It was Antlion all along.
There may very well be like a googly eyes type Zeromus sprite out there. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, are we above 600 Z sprites yet?
Last I heard, it was like 560, 570. So I do believe Scala was adding a lot of live alive sprites in the near future. So that's going to very much increase the amount of these sprites out there.
Let's just say there's still a lot.
There is more than I have fingers. I can't count it on one hand or two. The crystal's out, and we're about to find out whose butt will be gracing our eyes tonight. And
that looks very Dragon Quest-ish. I want to say Dragon Quest 2?
It definitely does have that Dragon Quest look. And chat confirms Dragon Quest 2. Well done. So yeah, we have middling level Berserkers here, level 45-ish. But that's Cecil chonking for 6k at a time. Edge to throw and stuff. We're going to get our nerf out. This could go sideways, unfortunately, should, say, Rosa take the big bang to the face. I'm sorry, the counter nuke to the face.
Yeah, it's definitely that here, as Hart has found the Chuckle Hut here. But this is definitely, again, with these hit point totals, you do kind of have to brave those counter nukes here, and Rosa takes that one with not that much difficulty here, but yeah, we just need to... Now the question is, with the amount of damage that Cecil's putting out, the question is, are we going to even see a second Big Bang?
While Cecil is a great damager, doing 6-7k around at this point, 5 to 7k, he's not going to be... That's just not enough to skip the second Big Bang. I'm pretty sure we see a second Big Bang, unless that Edge begins contributing damage too.
Yeah, Edge does look like he has a White Spear queued up to fling here. For another 4,600. So, oh no, unfortunately no Star Veil up on Heart's side, and does take a wipe to a Golbez that has a lot of spell power still in that spot here.
Yeah, unfortunate wipe for Heart. Looks like he'll be heading right back in though, and now that we know that Golbez is here, Heart should have a much easier time and not, being surprised by Golbez is out too. It's probably one of the worst feelings out there, because you have you didn't have a time to set up your party to deal with it, whether by casting Piggy or Size, or equipping with Crystal Rings or what have you.
Yep. Edge ran out of things to throw, so just took another wine there and is doing 2 to 25, 2,600 a. So they're about 8,000 round coming out here.
Yep, I believe this may be a little too early to nerf though.
Are we on BS1 still? I think we're on BS1.
I think we are. I saw Cecil and Edge attack. The virus came out. If we get another Cecil attack, yeah, this was a little early, but we may just push into rocks.
That's not good. Having Rosa just drop to that 2,300 nuke here. Cubs, that was not a dodge. That was I can take it. And if this is nerfed here, Rydia is queuing up Asura, but unfortunately it was not here, and that is danger here, because if we got rocks, then
we got rocks and we got dodge. We are through.
We don't have any rocks. No one took any rocks. I saw no rocks on the screen.
I mean, we had rocks for about as long as we had the magma key tonight.
Schrodinger's rocks to go wrong with Schrodinger's magma key, but yes, down goes Zeromus there, and our winner here with a time of 125.54 here, JBrun. Very well done here.
Well done to JBrun, advancing on to the round of 16, playing the eventual winner of Poidrak and Kyrios, who I believe will be playing Friday night this week.
And we're gonna see if we can get him in here for an interview here. And that beep there says we are joined by JBrun there. How you feeling?
Oh, feeling pretty good.
I mean, give me a start like that, and I feel great, honestly. What didn't you have?
Well, up until the treasury, I didn't have much in the way of like damage boosting equipment for Cecil. So thankfully that power shirt showed up.
That was the thing. I mean, it was just the point where Eblin just said, "Here, have an Avenger. Here, have a Crystal Sword. Go win the seed now." And I mean, it was just pretty much what you just were off to the races to do there. Yeah, we were definitely. I don't know if you had a little bit of second thoughts going in with a little bit of low levels there, but you definitely made it work with a little bit of clench there at the end with those rocks there, and Rosa deciding that dodging was not the thing she wanted to do there. But yeah, again, you put yourself in the position to succeed, and you're off to the round of 16.
Yeah, take some risks sometimes. So thankfully that one paid off.
Speaking of risks, I noticed that you did a lot of out-of-the-way checks. I don't mean completely out of the way, but you did head on down to that Luca cave to check the boss, even though you had the key item. You headed over to that. You head over to Twin Harp. Were you feeling ahead, or is that normally something you just normally do? You check these one-off locations, trying to find a boss that your opponent may fade.
So I've been burned quite a few times going to the moon without first clearing out the blue planet. So that was my trying to avoid having to walk the LST twice.
Gotcha.
I mean, the checks may not have paid off, but
I mean, they definitely did, at least. I mean, yeah, the full faithful. Hart did check it eventually. It was Odin guarding a package, and we don't know what was behind the package there. But yeah, again, really, after going through Dwarf, I mean, just everything kind of ended up coming up Millhouse after that rat tail just led to everything else.
yes, indeed.
So JBrun, one highlight from your race I noticed was your fight against Antlion down there on that hook route. Came down to a relatively close fight between Cecil and that Antlion, just edging it out. How were you feeling during that?
It was a YOLO. I was just hoping he was going to squeak it out. I knew it was going to be close.
You didn't have your finger over the reset button, did you?
It was hovering over, just in case.
It might be hovering over a little closer. You know, Cecil's about 300 hit points, but I think he still had like 700 some when the dust settled there.
Yep, that all worked out.
Meanwhile, you were on the round, all the way to the round 16 already. Man, this stuff goes so fast. But yeah, yeah, none more to say really. Other, I don't know if I really have much more questions. Mine, it was just a really well executed seed. You just took what it gave you and just ran with it.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, very well done. As noted, I didn't even notice you faded Fabul until Hart went up there a little later in the seed. So, was there anything on the back of your mind about that fade as well? Or were you just like, if it's that Fabul, I don't want to do it anyway?
Well, if the Harp check or Zot didn't pay off with something, that was going to be my next stop. But thankfully one of them had the Baron key. That was Zot. So...
Oh, great. Well, as Night Dew mentioned, you're off to the round of 16, eventually facing one of Kyrios or Poidrak. Is there any kind of additional prep you plan on doing? Watching the race, scouting your opponents, doing a lot more practice, or are you just going to wing it?
I've got to practice. There's no winging it. And I'm kind of familiar with Kyrios, just from the Pink Puff League. And poor Drac, he's knocked me out of one tournament already. But yeah, I mean, 2 wins so far. I've almost attained my goal for this tournament, which was 3 wins. So we're getting there.
You have your eyes set on the round of 8 then.
Well, either that or a win somewhere in the
yeah,
in
a
the
win.
bracket.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. But I mean, hey, always good to make your goal, and then always great to go past your goal. And I think you're more than capable of doing so. So yeah, just good luck going further on here.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so thanks to you guys, the whole Restream team. Let's see, it was Cubs that rolled it, so it was a very nice start from him. Potato doing the tracking, which I think is his first time.
Yes, and has done very well.
Excellent. And then you guys, Night 2 and Ride 1. We'll definitely watch it back to see all of the insightful comments.
Unfortunately, Hart has run afoul of Blarg on a throne. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a clinch moment as well.
It's rolling back in, yeah. I can't tell if that's a fast anchor cane or a slow anchor cane based on the hit points, honestly, anymore. But yeah, that's not a good feeling. That throne is deceptive sometimes here. I remember a few times both Wyvern. I remember a late Zemus 1 race where Val was parked on that throne and nobody was getting by her. That throne is dangerous, people.
Yes, it is. I think I'll get out of here. I'll let you guys finish up.
Yep, and have a good evening, and again, one more congratulations.
All right, thank you. See ya.
Yep.
Later.
Ooh, is gonna have to take that alt gauntlet one more time, though. However,
Senator Crocodile returns for a 3rd time.
Senator Crocodile is demanding a lot of the floor tonight.
Has he not heard of turn limits?
I mean, has that become a thing in Baron? I mean...
Well, looks like Cecil is going to try to enforce that, at least tonight. And hopefully don't see, round 4. But hard to, just like finding that Golbez up at Zot 2, finding that Wyvern at Baron 2 is always a very annoying and scary situation. But again, once you know it's there, and you'll be prepared. So Hart has it this time, definitely.
Yeah, it's you see it, and there's, especially PS1, there's just so little time to actually react to it.
I did notice one thing though. Hart throwing that Grimoire the last go around summoned an Odin, which took care of the the Senator Crocodile and his friends relatively quickly. I wish I had Hart's luck, because normally when I throw that Grimoire get an Odin, he just shows up and disappears.
I could Odin every once in a while. He just decides half the time when I'm like rolling a cover Cecil, he's like, "Oh, you got some low HP people. I see. You need the Sylph," and I'm like, "No, they don't need to come. I don't need healing. I promise." Also, chat there. I know it's filibustering, but I'm just gonna take Skull on this one. It's filibustering now.
Well, this is a lot of filibustering. He just keeps on coming back. Senator Crocodile, go away.
Well, I will take Senator Crocodile over Chancellor Wyvern here.
had there ever been a good Chancellor in a video game? They normally
No.
seem to be evil, especially in like Chrono Trigger and other games where they show up.
I mean, the last one in 80 with 1000 was just, he was just waiting for to actually stab you in the back, but you finished the game before he could, so.
Hart is putting us on Battle Speed 6 Wyvern Standard Time. Will not be surprised by this Wyvern waiting on the Baron throne, and will have more than ample time in order to get Star Veiled off and allow Chancellor Wyvern to be escorted from the hall.
Chancellor Wyvern, Grand Vizier Wyvern, what other treacherous governmental positions do we have here that Wyvern could fill in for?
A Duke, maybe?
Duke Wyvern? Yeah, I can see giving a Wyvern the dukedom here.
Yeah. Does Ignis count as a Chancellor? I'll have to... Night Dude, did you ever play Final Fantasy 15? Because I never did.
I did, and that's a very good question. I don't know if he was actually like a Chancellor in name. Yeah, he's a retainer, yeah. I mean, retainers are generally pretty good guys. I mean, all three are. Cyan was. Yeah, retainers, you're good if you're a retainer.
I have to look up eventually because I do not know the difference between a retainer and, say, like a knight or a bodyguard. Are they kind of synonymous?
Kind of. I think the retainers just kind of like your VIPs, kind of attaché here. Okay, Skull, I will say I never actually did get around to episode Ignis, so I'm gonna walk away from that one.
Hart is through that Wyvern. 6 out of 7 bosses. Gets his Darkness Crystal. And off to the moon he'll likely go.
Yep, and real fast here. Again, if Hart goes straight to the moon there, we do know that there is. Did save there is going to check the Baron Throne, which is a good idea, even if nothing's there right now. But yeah, with there always being value in the Bahamut stand.
Oh, you know what this means. Hart gets through this Paladin. We can say the line again.
We could, for a little bit.
Yeah. It's your turn this time.
We can fade underground again, right?
Or we could just not fight Paladin. We'll see what Hart does. With only one boss remaining, he knows that Sparkle's not anybody that he needs, so never mind. We're not saying the line again.
Yep.
Off to the moon.
Yeah, we can fade underground again. Yay!
Oh, we're getting that package check.
Ooh, we are getting that package check. Do we get exactly Bahamut here? And it was go mode on the blue planet the entire time.
Very interesting. We never found that pass, so we always need to find that Darkness Crystal, most likely.
And we're just calling Zemus to burn the town down.
We'll deal with you later. You know, after you deal with the town.
After we've thrown a crystal in your face.
But yeah, I think we didn't check any of the LST bosses outside that Ruby and Ribbon room. So we have 2 bosses left on the moon. 4 more. 2 bosses on the giant, 4 on the moon, 6 boss checks. We have this one here. So we have roughly a 1 in 7 chance, I believe, at finding our Bahamut here.
Yep, I do have to ask, while Skull is in the chat here, does the pig in Mist Village give us any clues as to who the boss may be in the Kaipo Inn?
More piggy meta.
Well, I like piggy meta. Pig fight is who you would have received there.
At the very least, Hart gets a full heal out of that package check, so won't have to full heal again heading up to the moon, even if this ends up being nothing.
Again, though, we've seen a lot of stuff, so we're down to a full,
That's a Bahamut.
And go mode was on the blue planet the entire time.
Could we say that JBrun was punished for fading Fabul? I don't think we can really say that, but
No, not really, but, yeah.
yeah, that Baigen over in K value, actually not required.
Yep.
I'm sure Hart will be happy to find that out because that is a rough fight, and Hart has some very precarious levels. However, Hart's still going to have to figure out a grind prior to Zeromus unless he wants to try to take him on with mid-30s, high 30s characters.
Yeah. Yeah, JBrunTR did see in there. We still have yet to turn in that vanilla pan, so, I mean, if you were to turn in that pan, pick up a pass off of it, and then just take a small little jaunt over to the moon, or in this case, a Hummingway cave, and say, oh, look, sirens. I mean, you go scramble a few eggs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with that Darkness Crystal in hand, I don't think Hart touches that pan. Though I could be wrong. I could be surprised here.
Yeah, forget that Sid is just hanging right out in the tower here. Just, send him Kane's Dwarf Axe there, and hey, instant anchor.
Yep, Sid would be an excellent anchor right now. Tella would be a passable anchor as well. We have nothing but anchors waiting in the Tower of Wishes right now.
I mean, isn't that how it normally happens?
Usually. That Kane has gotten a little long in the tooth, gained a little too many levels over the course of Hearth's adventure tonight. So, as mentioned, not the best anchor right now. I would love to see a new anchor being picked up.
Yeah. That might actually be, and that's something I kind of wish, like, more would happen there. Just kind of, well, we started using this character, and then, well, nothing really came of it, but hey, here's two replacements in the tower here for you if you just so decide here.
Yep, and that is one thing you'll notice many people on Red Moon and Blue Moon are doing. You get 7 characters, but permajoin isn't on. So they're all just additional resources that you can use at any point of the seed in order to try to make your seed easier. Looks like we're going to go with the Tella over the Kane. So no Dwarf Axe Sid, but Tella will still be slow enough to make just about everyone except maybe Rydia RA1 going forward.
And yeah, again, just that is can still talk. Yeah, that's really heads up there, and just the whole hey, maybe we accidentally let Kane just get up there, so let's just turn our anchor in for a new one, and we'll be just fine.
And off to the moon we go. Hart will likely be checking for sirens up here, and he'll be very happy to find them. So we go back to this question we had for JBrun. What kind of grind do you do? I think Warlocks are still on the table here. If not, maybe Hart had also picked up a Hourglass 2 on his travels and will be ready to do a double gold dragon fight. But very happy to find those sirens.
Yep, I mean, that still could potentially be. Oh yeah, that was the Cure 3s and the Silk Webs were all in the Mysidia shop actually.
So Night Dew, it seems like we're kind of getting through this tournament relatively quickly. Jay, we're going to have our round of 16 in the Blue Moon tournament next week. The round of 8 will be in the Red Moon tournament next week. It seems like we just started this tournament.
I mean, the waxing rounds are going to go through pretty quick. It's just going to be a major jumble once we get down to the waning here, and it's going to be the much longer bracket of the tournament, especially when we just have people just continually falling into the waning there. And Hart is going to say it's Gold Dragon time, and I guess that's probably why Tella also came around here. Oh, okay, it's just going straight to that Avenger. I thought, we were going to get Tella going for, like, weak there, but might just, be going for Cecil hitting dragons.
A little concerning here, though. Tella may actually gain a few levels if he doesn't get knocked out quick enough. But Hart has it under control, taking care of it with that edge.
I was say, gaining a lot of possible levels there, but yeah, it just takes care of it there.
Tella face down on the ground. 4 or 5 levels for everyone. Cure 4 gained on Rosa. If Hart's feeling like that's enough, he can be done, but I agree with this. This looks like he'll be doing at least one more double gold dragon fight. I mean, after all, we have 2 hourglasses. May as well make use of both of them. You can't take them with you to the next seed. And Cecil's going Burr. Might get one more week out of this Tella. Another 120, 180,000 XP for this party. And we should be feeling a lot better about our HP totals going into Zeromus.
Yep, gonna still be a little interesting here. Again, Life Glitch would be great, but not gonna get there. Does get that week off. Just swinging that Avenger around a little too fast, honestly, there. But yeah, just keeping the Tella down here. Again, 120k, not much to scoff at here, but is out of hourglasses. So the question now is, we are up to, nope, just cast an exit and getting right out of there. Says low 40s, good enough.
All right, so it's going to be another exciting D fight then. Again, Cecil, Crystal Sword, tons of damage, but that HP total in the low 2000s, Rosa very susceptible to a counter nuke, as we saw happen to JBrun. Another exciting D fight, and I'm here for it.
Yep, basically, Cecil is there to do all the damage, and it's everybody else's job to get him there.
Just sustain. Now we do have some alternate grinds up here. We mentioned Warlocks earlier, which we can siren up on floor 4. Tybalt in chat calling out for potential pink puffs. If Hart happens to do that and find that adamant armor, well, I'd love to be part of FE history for that to happen for the first time here on Restream.
I mean, I'd love to be that there, and hey, why not at this point? I mean, I could follow in JBrun's footsteps there and just take a peek at that ribbon room as well. Ruby, not very threatening there, and hey, 200k is 200k.
Plus, we get some pretty cool music while we do it. Oh, that's right. If we do find pink puffs, and we find adamant armor from pink puffs on Restream, I believe free enterprise is over, right?
I mean, I'm not ready to call that. That's a question that's way above my pay grade.
Or Hart could just follow in JBrun's footsteps, do that Rubicon down in the ribbon room for an additional 200k XP. Looks like we are skipped at the pink puffs. And that Ruby may be on Hart's mind here. However, we do have level 41 on Rosa. That's Cure 4 already. We got that at 38. We have a few apples where we can pump Rosa up to about a little shy of 2k HP. Maybe that's all we need.
Yeah, I think I think that's definitely a spicy amount of hit points to be going in on there. That's Porum level hit points going on there. Yep, we just said that, but
Well, okay. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Hart is feeling very confident with his HP levels, with the amount of offense that he has available to him. We're going straight down to Z with low 40 characters, and this is going to be good. It's going to be exciting. Hart definitely has the skill to pull this off.
Yeah, absolutely not impossible, but definitely gonna need some skill to do this. So let's.
It is not going to be your regular Berserker Zeromus fight at all, where, you know, Zerk up, put down the controller, collect tokens at the end, collect your win at the end. This is going to take a lot of thinking and a very good timing from Hart as well, because we're going to be nerfing at least 2 big bangs, if not 3. And before we happen to see this Dragon Warrior 2 sprite pop back up on Hart's side, I do want to give a quick shout out to the crew behind the scenes. Fried Potato Tracking, doing his first tracking ever and doing a fantastic job of it. And Cubs Roll, rolling this vanilla-filled seed, kind of like a vanilla-filled punchki or donut. Very, very well done, both of you.
So much vanilla, you'd think it was a Datha seed. We love it though.
Yeah. And of course, follow both of our runners tonight. They put on a heck of a show, JBrunTR and Hart both. Hart finishing up right now, and here we go. This is low-level Zerker strats. Cecil, again, trucking for about 6k, but those are some very, very scary HP levels.
Yep, that is saying that pretty much every big bang here needs to be nerfed, and you really kind of want that. And you really kind of want those counter nukes to fall the right way. Rosa is not who you want to get tagged by that, but she does make a good dodge out of it. And Riddy has actually got Nasura coming up already here. So anyway, incoming Crystal Sword hits. You do want Cecil to come up with a little bit more than 4,400 there. However, Asura does draw the Cure 4, and hey, everybody's full a couple times over there.
So Cecil's doing a little less damage for Hart than he was for JBrun.
I'm wondering if Edge has that power shirt by chance.
And it doesn't look like we're zerking up Edge just now. Oh, we are. Okay, getting the last block is line from Hart. So this will help supplement the damage because Cecil's strong. Cecil's great. You know, doing 3-4k around, though, isn't going to be enough to push the refill before the next big bang. And that's the 50-meter target right now.
Yep, and okay. Oh, Riddy is going for that Moon Veil there. Looks like gonna try for a little bit of supplemental black magic, I would say here. I really wouldn't want to. I mean, Rosa doesn't have white, so only Riddy really have anything to bounce off here. But again, we just really, at this point, every Big Bang is gonna feel to be nerfed here. So here does comes Virus here. Again, does have a perfect tele anchor here, but there's the shake. So
that was a fake shake. So this does not actually need to be nerfed here.
Right.
But Hart is going for the nerf. Won't fight a Big Bang, but hopefully this counter nuke hits Rydia, who had the wall up, and does so supplemental damage. But we will not see a Big Bang, which is great for Hart. I believe we have another spell coming out of Rydia here, so some more supplemental damage.
Yep.
I mean, Rydia definitely showing that even though she doesn't have nuke, she can contribute. 2k from a virus or casting like an Ice 3, putting out 4 or 5k damage. Definitely helps push us over the edge here.
Yep. I'm definitely on, I'm on record saying that, you know, a character like Rydia, you know, unless you get like that slingshot on her job isn't really to play against Z for you. Her job is just to get you there.
Now this shake is real. So it looks like this nerf timing will be good. Nope, this nerf is going to be a little late, unfortunately. We are going unnerfed. This is going to be a little painful.
Oh my. Hey, this party, I'm not sure I would go for an unnerfed here, but let's see if we get some of those evasion rolls. You're gonna need them a little bit here, and uh-oh.
We may need to dodge some rocks. But at this point, everyone's zerked up. Controller is not down yet. That black hole will free up the edge to take an action. Cecil, however, has that Avenger on. Will be continue swinging right away.
Yep, at this point, do you just throw an elixir at Cecil and see if he can just take it home?
Here come the rocks. Who survives? Cecil survives. We're probably through this.
Yep, Cecil should get this done.
And he does.
Yep, there he goes. Yep, a little bit of a nail biter, but it doesn't matter as long as somebody's got more than 1 hit point. You win.
Yeah, I think I would have to give the crown to Heart tonight for the most exciting Z fight, because that was a nail biter. And
yep.
Congratulations, Heart, on finishing that difficult feat.
Helps if I unmute. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh, that Z fight was nerve-wracking.
So you had a few of them at that point there. Not to be only the Z fight, but the one that gave you a whole bunch of trouble, that Antlion at 25k at Ruby there. That's that was something as well there, and you just really, I mean, that got you to go back to Twin Harp, and I guess the big thing got you through it was Blink there. But yeah, that was. I mean, JBrun finished that one quite like you did with the Z fight there, with only having Cecil standing as well.
Yeah, having that Antlion, it just hit hard, and I was like trying to figure out, do I try to force my way through? Do I change up my team? I was trying to see if I could get Rydia to go faster so she could get those Bahamut's going. And I'm like, okay, let's see what I get. Maybe I could get a boss under my belt if anything's at Harp, and I mean, at least it was free, and it turned into a Dragoon Spear, yay. But I got Blink, so that was nice, and I was able to get through that barely, but got through that one.
So one very interesting thing you did near the end there, you found that package from Full Defense and checked it. What was making you think that Bahamut or Baigan could have been behind that package?
So I kind of was going off my last race where I did the entire moon only to find out package was where I needed to go last race. So I'm like, it's here, I can quickly check it, and that way it leaves me the entire moon. I have to be up on the moon anyway to grind. So, and I was so excited to see that it was there. So it paid off for me.
So I know you were grinding in K Bahamut there. So one thing is, did you? I didn't see you actually. Did you take a couple steps over to see the boss on the K Bahamut altar?
No. No, I did not.
Okay. Would you like to know who was there?
Was it Waterhag?
No, it was Baigan.
Oh my god. Oh.
I mean, on the bright side, you took the much easier and quicker fight from that Bahamut down a package.
Yeah, that's very, very true. That is so very true.
We're just like, could the answer have been on the blue planet the entire way? So yeah, we knew after that had JBrun not gone top down there, the moon would have been completely haunted, and that might have, just kind of drawn it back there. But no, everybody checking for that value in K Bahamut. So
it paid off, but didn't pay off at the same time.
yeah.
At least it was an easy fight, though.
I mean, that was a very good Z fight. I mean, both of you actually ended up dodging rocks to win, so.
Yeah, I peeked in the restream afterward, or the stream afterwards, and I was trying to nerf the second one, but I heard that I got the fake shake instead, so it's like, I've never been able to nerf the second one before, so it was the first time attempting to do that. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to, though.
Yeah, that's kind of the Z fight 101. There is sometimes it just does not go how you want it to go.
Mm-hmm. The fact that I didn't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Please go ahead.
The fact that I didn't wipe is I'm impressed though, because I thought I was done for on the. After that big bang and seeing only Edge and Cecil, and then Edge going down, and I'm like, okay, Cecil's just gonna hit. Cecil's just gonna hit. It's a crystal sword and a prayer right now. Well, Avenger and a prayer, but still. And I did listen in, and I will say this: I totally forgot about the apples. So as soon as you said it on Restream, I'm like, I had apples. I forgot.
They're very easy to forget. A lot of people just sell them instead. So. Still, that was a very impressive V fight. Very low levels, low 40s, high 30s for your character. Is that something you practiced before?
No, I'm not gonna lie. No. Usually, I try to grind everybody at least to like 2000s, or we'll live a decent big bang. And I'm like, with the tournament, kind of pushed me to do a little bit of the lower, take the chance, see if I can get through it, because I know. Cecil with the crystal sword / adamant is pretty good. I should have put the power shirt on him. He still had the crystal armor on. That might have made a little bit of a difference, but
I mean, it could be why he also dodged the last meteor too.
I'm gonna hold on to that. He had the crystal armor, and that's why he dodged.
Well, one thing.
Go ahead.
Unfortunately, you're falling down to the waning bracket, and I believe your next race will be against the winner of Stupid Sexy Flanders and Big Rich 413.
Okay.
How are you feeling about that potential matchup?
I'm nervous. So, I was nervous with this one, but honestly, I'm nervous. I'm gonna just do what I normally do and see if it works.
The good news about this is that we did this as a double elimination, so you live to play another day, and that's the more important thing, that we're still having fun here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you still have much more time here to show us what you can still do.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm really enjoying the tournament right now, so I'm kind of glad that I'm still able to continue on. So.
No doubt, you still have a lot of free enterprise left to play.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
So, any final thoughts on the seed?
Also, Wyvern and Baron can go back to the moon where he belongs. That hurt. When I wiped to Wyvern, that one hurt. I had to sit through that stupid bull gauntlet all over again.
We did have a lot of rude, be it Golbez and Zod. We had a lot of rude second spot bosses there. That was kind of interesting.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Golbez being a pain in the butt too. But yeah, other than that, there's some things that I know I need to work on a little bit that hopefully by the next race I can improve on for that. And that was a fun one. That one was interesting. So thank you for rolling that, Cubs. I appreciate that. But other than that, I think that's really it for me, except for, um, sorry. Thank you for the restreaming. Thank you for the commentary, Night Dew and Rybon, and even though the seed was a little mean, thank you for the restream, Cubs, and thank you for tracking Fried Potato. I appreciate it.
And,
Of course, and thank you for playing for us.
Yep. And I'll echo that. And another huge thanks to my co-commentator Rybon here. And I'll just echo the thanks, Cubs Rule, Fried Potato, and everybody else who runs this. We really can't do this without everybody here. So much thanks to everybody here. Just gonna call that is our last race for the tonight. Tomorrow though, we have 3 restreamed races. Tomorrow we do have a Stone Dingley versus Solaris at 7 p.m. Eastern, Bear Nerd versus D Shmoo 619 at 8 p.m. and Woo Bear versus Judge Joe at 9:30. And I believe those are channels to be they'll be on one of our channels here there. And I believe we do have a raid target as well. I believe we are going to raid VTA Fro. I don't know if I got the pronunciation of that correct there. Doing a Blue Moon async there. Anything you want to add before we head over that way?
No, it's just been a pleasure, Night Dew. Very much appreciate it. And again, thanks again to all of our runners tonight. Cubs, Potato as well for the behind-the-scenes work. This was a heck of a seed. Good work by both runners. And thanks for playing. And yeah, just no spoilers or anything like that over there at VT Afro in case they want to watch this later. And have a good one.
Remember, we still never got underground.